crypto, speed matters, but trust matters more. At Caleb and Brown, you're never on your own. We connect you with your own personal broker and a 24/7 team, ready to help you buy, sell, or swap over 250 digital assets with one flat, transparent fee. No spreads, no slippage, no hidden costs. Get the best market prices through deep, aggregated liquidity executed by our professional trading desk. Your funds are secured with institutional-grade cold storage for total peace of mind. Track every move in real time with our intuitive client portal, anywhere, anytime. Whether you're trading as an individual, trust, or business, we give you speed, security, and peace of mind. Thousands of clients in over 100 countries already trust Caleb and Brown. Visit calebandbrown.com and start your personalized crypto journey today.
And welcome back to another episode of the Blockchain Brew Show. Today I need to get my standing desk at the right level before I start recording. But other than that, guys, today I'm going to hop on here for a little bit. Daniel Kaufman. Today I'm going to hop on here for a little bit. And Daniel, why so aggressive right off of the jump, man? Dash. Okay, I will I will cover some dash for you, man. Let me turn the music down just a little bit. For whatever reason, my ears don't hear the music at the same volume when I'm on the show by myself, as opposed to with T-Square, you know? But guys, here I am. This is not my or our usual time today. I think because I'm down, that's why. Okay, that I feel that. I feel you, Daniel. I feel you. Yeah, this is not our. I'm down a lot of money. This is not our normal time. I don't know if T-Square will go live later or not. This is his late day for work. I have to go teach a Bible study at a church later. The invite came in last minute, and I really try my best not to say no to things like that because, you know, just one of many reasons. I think God will bless the rest of what I do. You know, if I don't say no to those kinds of things. So, anyways, that's that. That's also why I don't have a beer today. I have a Santa Diet Coke. I hate drinking these things. You know, the aspartame, whatever. I really almost never drink them, but I wanted something carbonated. Yeah. So today we are going to jump into some news, look at what Lux Algo is saying on the charts, and I have a poll up in the chat. 100K Bitcoin by the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. What do you guys think? CT says 1 hour MACD maybe setting up a scalp short. Or correct me if I'm wrong, CT. Maybe you think it's a swing short. You know, that plays out over the next several days and gives a bigger move to the downside. But we'll jump in and see. Said God made my bag pretty effing empty. Well, Job does say God gives and takes away, but and honestly, I welcome all of it, even when it's hard. Guys, life is not all about crypto. Life is not all about your bags. Life is not even all about the Brew Crew, even though the Brew Crew is a big part of me and T Square's life, and we really enjoy what the community that we've been able to build on this little channel. It means a lot to us, and I really do think that we're building something really, really special on this channel and this show. Should be a half-day move down after a retest if it crosses the zero line. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, crossing the zero line on the MACD, big deal. And the longer the time frame, the more it matters for sure. Because I have seen that fake out many times. But here we go. Let me get my screen shared. We'll get some news out of the way and jump right on into the charts. Let's see here. And crypto in America. That matters because we do live in America. Thankfully, we don't live in Venezuela. Thankfully, we don't live in Miramar. Thankfully, we don't live in North Korea or Iran. Nothing against any of those places. I'm not even a hyper patriot myself. I'm not saying I'm not a patriot. I am, but I just there's some things on the extreme right that I don't identify with. However, I think no matter where you land on the political spectrum, you should be able to say that you're grateful that you were born here, because there's been so much afforded to you in life if you were born here in the United States as opposed to somewhere else. And I know Thanksgiving was already a week ago or two, but I am grateful for that. Enough with the BS. Oh, Daniel. Let's see here. Oh, that's what I was saying. Crypto in America. Guys, all of this is important stuff. Like, we are living in an unprecedented time that if you backed up a decade ago, people in crypto dreamed of the day when this kind of legislation is going on. Clarity Act, market structure, along with a bullish SEC, a bullish CFTC, and the Bitcoin strategic reserve seeming like it's on the horizon. It was Bitcoin is trash. Bitcoin is not trash, Edwin. It's not trash either. That it's not trash. Don't be intellectually dishonest. I like you, Edwin. I don't know if you've been in here before or not, but thank you for being here right now. I'm just saying, let's be real. Bitcoin is not trash. From 2009 to now, it's went from nothing to being the 6th most valuable asset in the world. Guys, and once the price gets back on the right track, it is going to pass Apple. It's going to pass whatever else is sitting above it. Maybe Microsoft. I don't know. Maybe Amazon is sitting above it. I know it's teetered back and forth with some of those things. It was passing them when it was at 126K, So, guys, Bitcoin is incredible. There's some things that Bitcoin doesn't do well necessarily. That's why I'm a Cardano guy. And I believe that Bitcoin and Cardano were really, really made for each other. Honestly, they were. People don't realize that yet, but come 2030, people are going to know undisputedly that Bitcoin and Cardano were made for each other, right? Like the Cardano's extended UTXO transaction model is what allows for native Bitcoin to be interoperable, for native Bitcoin to be lended and borrowed and transacted on Cardano, and you can put your Bitcoin to work without sacrificing consensus, security, and Midnight is adding privacy to that. Guys, that is massive. Taking an almost $2 trillion asset, or Bitcoin is over $2 trillion, right? Taking a $2 trillion asset and making it, giving it legs in a way it didn't have, making it truly programmable. Guys, it's absolutely wild when you really think about it. Bitcoin and Cardano were made for each other, and they together they are going to really revolutionize money in a very crazy way. So there you go. SEC ends 2-year investigation into Ondo, paving the way for U.S. expansion in tokenized assets. So the SEC has closed its investigation into tokenization firm Ondo Finance without recommending any charges, Crypto in America has learned. The probe, which began in October 2023 under former SEC Chair Gary Gensler, it's always that guy's fault, examined whether Ondo complied with the U.S. securities laws when tokenizing U.S. Treasury products and whether Ondo tokens should be classified as securities. According to an Ondo spokesperson, the firm received formal notice in late November that the 2-year SEC probe had ended. I don't like how much they're using the word probe. It makes me like, it makes me want to clench my butt cheeks a little bit, Anyone else in the chat feel that way? It's like they used the word probe like 6 times right off the bat. And I'm like, guys, calm down on the probing. I don't want to get probed. You don't want to get probed. Ondo doesn't want to get probed. Okay? So anyways, the probe has ended. Good. Marking another reversal of a Biden-era regulatory action against a digital asset company. Since pro-crypto SEC Chairman Paul Atkins took the helm, the agency has closed most crypto-related investigations and rolled back several high-profile cases, including those involving Coinbase, Ripple, and Kraken. The move comes as equity tokenization is becoming not just a hot topic in traditional finance, but a growing opportunity for the SEC. Last week, the regulator held a panel at its Investor Advisory Committee meeting to discuss how tokenization can improve the issuance, trading, and settlement of public equities while maintaining investor protections. Distributed ledger technology, that's blockchain, and the tokenization of financial assets, including securities, have the potential to transform our capital markets, Chair Atkins said in prepared remarks at the meeting. Ondo says the resolution of the investigation clears the way for it to expand U.S. operations following its registration as an investment advisor and the acquisition of Oasis Pro Markets, an SEC-registered broker-dealer, ATS operator, and transfer agent. The company is set to host its annual Ondo Summit in New York on February 3rd. I think that's going to be the most exciting crypto summit in a while, where it's expected to reveal new tools and products for tokenizing real-world assets. The financial rails of the future are being built on Avalanche. Just ask Citi, JP Morgan, BlackRock, or Denari. Find out more about how Avalanche is accelerating global finance. And I guess there's an article link there. What to watch this week. Market structure. We're heading into the second to last week before Congress breaks for the holidays, which means banking committee senators and staff are finalizing their market structure bill ahead of a possible markup next week. Though no date has been confirmed, a bipartisan member meeting on Thursday was described as positive, and discussions are expected to continue this week to resolve lingering qualms over ethics and token classification. Senate AG has also yet to schedule its own markup. So, December, I don't expect the full passage and signing of this in December, but if they come out with their initial approvals, next week, and then, this Wednesday we get rate cuts, next week we get movement on the market structure bill, we could be looking at a good next couple weeks of green bullish trading for Bitcoin. A new era for spot trading. I'm going to skip that. Yeah, CFTC regulated exchanges. We get that. They're going to allow spot trading. Good stuff. Monday, 9 a.m. The blockchain, that already passed. I'm going to skip it. Well, let's find out what happened today. The Blockchain Association Policy Summit kicks off in Washington today, featuring speakers from across the crypto regulatory spectrum. So, good stuff. Tuesday, it's tomorrow, 9 a.m. The BA Policy Summit continues with speakers, including several members of Congress, Treasury officials, and Paul Atkins. Okay, fine enough. Wednesday, 2 p.m. This is the big one. The FOMC announces its next interest rate decision on Wednesday, and Chair Powell gives a speech to the press at 2:30 p.m. According to the CME's FedWatch tool, the central bank is likely to reduce the target rate by 25 basis points to 3.5 to 3.75. So let's just see what the tool is saying as of right now. Guys, 87% chance right now that the Fed is cutting rates tomorrow. This thing is never wrong. I don't know if it's ever been wrong. So, honestly, I shouldn't say anything about this yet because I need to try to land a partnership with them first. But, this is easy money right here, guys. Like, if you go on Kalshi, or Polymarket, I guess. But if you go on Kalshi and you bet that the rates are going to get cut tomorrow, then you're going to make 13% on your money in a day, right? Because you're going to be buying these yes shares. Well, that depends where the odds stand on Polymarket or Kalshi, I guess. But let's say the odds do sit right about here. Then you're going to make 13% on your money in a day just by going on there and buying a bunch of yes shares to the question, will rates get cut by 25 bips? So there's a lot of scenarios in where like prediction market is easy money. So there you go. And back over here. Do Kwon is set to be sentenced in a Manhattan federal court after pleading guilty. But didn't Trump pardon him? So I don't get what that's about. Solana's flagship conference kicks off in Abu Dhabi. Okay, cool. There you go. That's what's going on. Let's come over here to the charts. I know that's what you guys are waiting for. I know that Daniel is waiting for some dash, but I am going to chart Bitcoin first. You know what? Okay, look. I'll be nice to Daniel right now. What's up, Zerka? What's up, Muffhead? Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Let's see. Dash. Let's find out what Dash is up to. Watch it rug from underneath us in real time. Okay, I mean, that's some good movement. I mean, Daniel Kaufman, I mean, you could have been longing this thing up, you know, look at that. Look at that. That's a beautiful move on Lux Algo on the hour. You know, you had this buy signal come in here right as the money flow was turning green. Had a bullish hyperwave, had a bullish confluence bar, and then the trend catcher turned green, and then you had a break of a trend line, moved up like, you know, and then like, you know, it held. This is always bullish when you see it do this. Like, it held support above the trend catcher. So that's always bullish when you see it do that. And then even from that point, it went up another 11% on the hourly chart. Not bad. And, you know, it broke right through this first take profit and almost came up to the second take profit here. Then you had bearish divergence come in, but we're attempting again to hold support at the trend catcher. That'd be very bullish if it does. I don't know if it will, though, just because you do have this beginning sign of a reversal right here when you get this big red triangle above the confluence bar. So expect Dash to cool off, to continue cooling off a bit. And you know, it's piercing below the trend catcher right now as we speak. And so if you go to the 4 hour, I would imagine that maybe it comes all the way down to you know, around where the trend catcher is at on the 4 hour, you know, which would only be down to like 48.7. So it you know, less than $1 move down. I do expect it to hold support there though, because the money flow looks like it's about to turn green any minute on Dash. So I don't know, Daniel. I don't hate scaling into a long right here. You know, you had a strong buy signal with a green trend catcher on the 4 hour, with a break of a trend line. So that means, you know, this trend line now is going to be serving as resistance, right? And you know, that trend line is going to be serving as resistance. So if we, you know, come down to make a little push toward the trend catcher and we come up and attack that trend line again, you know, I can see it. So I don't hate scaling into a long right there. You know, the 4 hour, the hyperwave is not yet, you know, overbought. It's getting there, but it has a lot of gas left in the tank. So I don't hate scaling into a long right there. I won't personally, just because I don't care about Dash. That's not to say that I don't care about Daniel Kaufman. We love you, Daniel. But I think we love you the way that we love the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. I actually really love the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving, though. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example, but I think you get what I'm saying. Let's see here. Oh, Romana says, I don't think Trump did pardon Do Kwon. But there was definitely talk of it, right? I mean, oh, now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. There was we've been speculating about it a couple weeks ago, but we never saw it happen. Oh, shoot. Okay. That was misinformed and also racist of me. I was thinking about CZ. So, there you go. Man, it's not my best moment when I confuse CZ and Do Kwon live on stream on the Blockchain Brew Show. Like, guys, you know, that's why we're here for the bloopers. Anyways, where's our poll at? Okay, 80% of you say no. How many votes have there been? 10 votes. 10 votes, and 8 of you have said no to 100K Bitcoin by FOMC on Wednesday. It wouldn't be that crazy of a move, you know. So let's actually look at Bitcoin and see what we got going on. So I posted this in the Discord, this setup here. I do still think that this is definitely in play. And I'll give you several reasons why. You know, let me just go ahead and remove all my drawings and I'll redo it. So here's the first thing that I see is this pattern here that LexAlgo is giving you. These trend lines. I'm going to draw over them so that they become very clear. Okay. So, you know, the price is really respecting these lines pretty well. And, you know, this leads me to believe that, you know, we still are above this strong buy signal over here. The only problem right now is that the trend catcher is turned red, okay? And as the trend catcher is turned red, you know, the hyper wave is kind of coming down a little bit, but this really just seems like a retest. You know, but as of right now, we still have a take profit up here at $95,495. And we have a second take profit at $99,088. Those take profits will remain in place up there until we get a sell signal coming in. So this red trend catcher is one step closer to a sell signal. However, there are many times where the trend catcher can turn red and then turn green again, you know, while you're above the same buy signal. So, you know, this is leading me to believe that we can bounce around inside of this pattern here and then sort of attempt a breakout targeting that TP1 at 95.5. Okay, so 95.5 would be a really nice level because it would get above it would get above all of this. This whole zone right here. You know, it would establish price action above that zone, which has been major resistance for us ever since the middle of November. So there's that. Now, when you come down here to the oscillator, and we're on the 4-hour chart, but the oscillator, if I stretch it out for you, you see how the money flow has been coming down. Right? But now the money flow is attempting to curve up here. So we still have green money flow on the 4-hour, and it's making an effort right now to not just completely bleed out, right? It's attempting, the money flow is attempting to turn around here. So there's that. We come to the daily, and let me remove my drawings again. The thing about the daily right here is you are still, remember how I said you can get, the trend catcher can turn red and then turn green again within, while being above the same buy signal. That happened right here. So on the daily, we are above a buy signal, and the trend catcher is green. The hyperwave down here just now crossed bullish, and the money flow is just so low, like leading me to believe that money can't just flow out of the market that long. We see this attempt at a curve up here on the money flow, and the overflow for the first time in this daily downtrend. The overflow is in bright red on the money flow, and what that means, you see how the top of the money flow wave up here is bright red. What that means is you have latecomers to a trend, right? It's FOMO is what it is. You have late sellers coming into a downtrend, or late buyers coming into an uptrend if you have bright green overflow on the money flow, right? He said again, stop with the BS. I covered Dash for you, man. So yeah, this is showing latecomers, late sellers coming into a downtrend is what that's telling you. So in my mind, like that can signal the end of inflows or outflows on the money flow in either direction. And again, you have this first take profit here still intact. At this level, 98.6. And you also, similar to the 4-hour, you have these converging trend lines that Luxalgo is showing you. And since we have these converging trend lines, it leads me to believe that, like, we've already been down here off of this uptrending line of support. And so it's only reasonable to believe that we're going to now make a run at the descending line of resistance. And that line is at $103,000. So, the problem with that, let me now hide all of my Luxalgo here. because my problem with that is basically that when we come to the weekly, I'm bringing old Trent back out here just for a second. When you come to the weekly, like this would constitute, if we go to that descending line of resistance on the triangle, and we fail that test, then what we're essentially doing on the weekly is bouncing off of the 100 moving average, and then moving up here to retest the 50 and potentially failing at it, which is what happened during the beginning phases of the last bear market. We found support at the 100, bounced up to the 50, failed to reclaim it, and eventually moved down further. So, I don't want to see that, but it is a scenario. It is a scenario that is not off of the table. So, that being said, let me bring, well, actually, while I have this up here, let me look at the traditional charting on the daily. So, we have a reclaim of the 21 moving average, kind of. And man, I love how Lux Algo draws those lines, because just being honest, I would not have thought myself to draw this pattern here, right? Because patterns only become obvious once you see them play out of it. Lux Algo is drawing the pattern here before it becomes obvious. Usually, if we came back up here for a retest of this line and then came down to the middle or whatever, it would be a lot easier to see. Oh, now we have 1, 2, 3 now touch points, and we have 1, 2, almost 3 touch points here. It becomes, Lux Algo is showing you these trend lines and these patterns before they become super obvious. And I really like that. So let me turn old Lux back on. And as of right now, I'm still at the very least, in this trade. And I do have a trade open on this, on Bitcoin. At the very least, I am in here to see this first take profit level on the daily at $98,600. And, if we get a bullish FOMC meeting, that could very well be the thing that sends us up, even if it's a little short-lived. But right now, this just looks like a juicy trade to me still, because your risk to the downside, if you take it, down to the break of the trend line, is 4%, as opposed to 8% on the way up. So that's it's a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio right now. And, potentially you get higher. If it went to that TP2 at 106, which would be pretty crazy, but then that's 17%, and you end up with like a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. But what you can do is set a partial take profit order at both places, or here and then somewhere in the middle, and then at the very least you have a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. So at least for part of your position. Let's see. Let me check up on the comments over here. Zerka, Real Meta, League of Legends, BF6 is fun though. Maybe by Friday, Real Meta says. Maybe by Friday for 100K. Hey, 100K by Friday would be sweet. Like, I don't think anyone would be complaining about that. You know, I do have to agree in the poll with the results so far. We're now coming in at 82% that we're not going to hit 100K by the FOMC on Wednesday. And I would agree with that. I wouldn't say by the FOMC. But after the FOMC, if it's bullish, I could see the rest of Wednesday and then Thursday. And then maybe like Real Meta said, by Friday, maybe we are tapping 100K. And we really, at that point, just have to see what happens from there. Because if we reject off of the 50-week moving average, when we get there, that would be very detrimental, to be honest. And then at that point, the chart would have to prove to us that it's not going into a longer bear market. I think that it won't, even if it does. My bet is that we do reject off of the 50. Everyone says, hey, we're going to repeat the 2021 bear market. It's locked in now. We're going to repeat the 2022 bear market because we bounced off the 100, rallied to the 50, rejected from it, and now we're going to go down further. It's the same thing we did before, and people are again going to say, you know, it's a fractal, it's a repeat. We're doing what we did before, and this whole cycle, we've consistently not done anything like what we've done before, right? So, like it would be absolutely, you know, like the nature of this cycle to reject off of the 50, convince everyone that we're repeating the past, and then we're not actually going to repeat the past, right? Probably more so, you know, we actually stay within this pattern here. Reject off of the 50, reject around 100K. Come back down to the low 90s again. Or 89. And then all of a sudden, you know, we have everybody convinced that the past is repeating, even though the past is not repeated at all this cycle. And then you set that bear trap, and then you break out again, and this time reclaim 100K. You know, come January, February. I'm not saying that's the case, but I can very much like see that happening in my mind's eye, you know. Let's see here. We gotten any other coins besides Dash? I haven't seen requests for any other coins, so I will probably look at ADA, check out a midnight article, and then be on my way. Zerka says, Crow, got you. Crow. Shout out to the Crow fam. Let's see here. Let me hop on over to X. Guys, BYDFi is our exchange partner of choice. And if you trade on BidFi with our link in the description, you're going to get up to $10,000 in rewards based on your trading volume. So if you meet any of these volume levels down here, you get these rewards up to $10,000 in rewards. So there you go. You want to check out that. Not to mention the fact that we also have a link with BTCC. And let's see here. I was wondering if they changed this for us yet. So I have them working on giving us a deal where any of our people can get $100 for free just for signing up with no deposit. I don't see it here yet, but another perk is, you do get 40% off on fees with our link, which is pretty good. No KYC, no VPN, just like BidFi. Like I said, BidFi is our exchange partner of choice, but we are also working with BTCC. 10% deposit bonus on your first deposit over $500. So anything you deposit over $500, you will get a 10% reward on that. So it's pretty good there. The 40% off on fees is pretty good. And then, like I said, I have them working on that, giving us, $100. Oh, not on screen. I thought I am. When was it not on screen? I don't know. Anyways, like I said, I have them working on giving us $100. Anyone who signs up, will get a $100 reward. So let's see here. Oh, was I not on screen when I showed BidFi? Is that why I showed this tab instead? I think this is what you're saying. Anyways, here's the banner for BidFi. Like I said, with, by trading volume, you can not win, but you can, get rewarded up to $10,000 based on trading volume with our link, plus 20% off fees, plus if you are a high volume trader, or even a low to mid volume trader right now, hit us up, DM us on X, or email us at blockchainandbrew@gmail.com, because I can upgrade your account and give you 50% self rebate on your fees. So when you execute a trade, half of your trading fees will go right back to you. And then anyone who signs up with your link, you'll get 50% commission on their trading fees. So, if anyone wants to start their own hustle on X that way, reach out to me, and we may be able to make that happen for you. So, not only that, guys, in our Discord, which right now our Discord is free for a limited time, but we're not just gonna post the link in the description though. You've got to DM us on X, and you've got to, or you've got to email us, or you've got to be here in the chat and tell us what your username is on Discord, so that we can get you an invite. Because we don't just want it out here in the description, because then we have to keep up with scammers that flow in and go in there and manually delete them, and we don't want to be doing all that. And you don't want them to be in there either. So, help us help you. And yeah. So, in our Discord, if you're not in the Discord, you want to be in there. You get these charts that get posted. I just showed it right now on stream, but look, I was showing this setup yesterday when the Bitcoin price was at 89.7. So I was showing this setup at that point. And so we've been in the green since then, and I'm still targeting this level at 95.4, or basically 95.5. So you get those setups like that. You see T-Square in here showing you what Market Cipher is saying. Is this from this morning? No, it's not from today. That was from the 5th. But that price was sitting at 91. You know, so T-Square was showing you this yellow X on Market Cipher a few days ago when Bitcoin was at 91. And, you know, if you exited a little on that yellow X, like you would have got a better re-entry afterward, down toward 88, 89. So, you know, so you get in the Discord, you get what Lux Algo is doing, you get what Market Cipher is doing, pretty much every day. You get Muffhead in here, telling you that everything is going to go to hell and a handbasket. So, you know, who doesn't want to see that? And then, most importantly, like when you're in the Discord, you get access, or you can get access if you show us that you have a a BYDFi account with our link. You'll get access to VIP trading signals that are aggregated from top ROI traders on the exchange. And so yesterday at 11:25 p.m., we had a VIP signal come in here into the Discord on XRP, and the entry zone was between 202 and 198, and the take profit, I don't know if it ever hit those, but you know, take profit levels are all the way up here through $2.27. So you get an entry, you get 4 take profits, you get a stop loss, right? And you get that on scalps as well. Okay. Plus, you get a market analysis. Yesterday's market analysis, it said Bitcoin is slowly drifting toward the rising trend line. Okay, that's what we were saying on Lux Algo. Showing the buyers are still defending the bigger uptrend despite the recent pullback. As long as price holds above this ascending support, the structure remains bullish. A strong reaction from this trend line will be the key trigger for upside continuation. The major resistance remains at the supply zone around 93.5K, which has rejected multiple times. A clean bounce followed by a strong push into this zone could set up a breakout and retest the move. If bulls reclaim this level with a solid candle close, Bitcoin could accelerate into new highs following the projected bullish path. Hey, it's true. And look, this is just showing you here basic hidden bullish RSI diversions, which we've been showing you for a while on this channel. So yeah, so you get all of that for free, literally for free. All you have to do is have a link or have an account with BidFi with our link and fund it with at least $100, and you get access to all of these VIP trading signals. So there you go. Let's see here. Check up on the comments. Okay, Crow. We said Crow. Okay, on the daily chart for CRO, if you look real close, this hyperwave turned green down here. Money flow is trying to trend up, which is a good thing. As of right now, the confluence bar down here is still red. So I would not enter into any long on the daily, while this confluence bar is bright red like this. Because what that's telling you is that everything in the oscillator agrees that it's bearish on the daily, okay? The only time I would consider longing, the only time I would consider beginning to scale into a long while the confluence bar is red is if you get a reversal signal down here. The large green triangle below the confluence bar, right? Because right here, it would have signaled you that correction to the upside was going to happen. But that was a 21% move, right? Right here, you would have got this little relief rally for another 20% move after the October 10th liquidation crisis. Right here on this one, you would have got a 13% move. So I would not long Crow right now. That's nothing against Crow. Crow is going to do very well. We already know that crypto.com is literally baked into the landscape of crypto in the United States, so it's going to do very well. One second here. Oh. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Oh, I think I see it. I think I see it. I'm on the screen now. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Zerka told me 5 times, you're still sharing the Discord screen. Sorry about that. Anyways. Zerka. Guys, there's like 5 things that you gotta do when you're running the stream solo. Like 5 things you gotta keep track of yourself, But yeah, like I was saying, these reversal signals down here, I'll just redraw them there, and there. The green triangles underneath the confluence bar. But yeah, this confluence bar is bright red down here, and it's showing you that there's really no action to take on Crow right now, unless we see that reversal zone or that reversal signal come in. Let's look at ADA. For ADA, the story is not too much better, but it is a little different because we do have this buy signal on the daily, right? And we do have a green trend catcher. And the hyperwave just flipped green. We've been in overflow. We've been in red overflow for days now, since November 23rd. We've been in red overflow. It's telling you that late sellers have been coming into the downtrend, attempting to sell the downtrend for 2 weeks now, unsuccessfully, mind you. You know, if you've been averaging these sells since November 23rd, you haven't really been rewarded much, you know? And a couple times the price, you know, has been moving against you significantly, and you may have like you may have like panicked out of that short. So you know, Cardano, I think is looking good. I think that we get this take profit one up here at 55 cents. And I can see a potential inverse head and shoulders scenario here where we push up toward that level on the breakout. So yeah, man. I like that on ADA right now. XRP. XRP is doing a similar thing. You know, look at this inverse head and shoulders. The trend catcher did turn red after the buy signal, but we're still above the buy signal. And we're very much in this triangle pattern like we were seeing on Bitcoin as well. And you know, the move to the measured move of that inverse head and shoulders rips all the way back up here to 273, which is like where this bearish reversal zone is up here. So, you know, but as of the moment right now, as of the moment, the confluence bar is still red on XRP on the daily. But I expect that to turn around soon, though. I expect to get one of those green triangles pretty soon and hopefully reverse our way out of that. Because if you go down to a lower time frame, let's say the 4-hour reset chart here, you go to the 4-hour and that starts to make a lot more sense, you know? Because we've already come down and tapped this trailing stop loss and met that uptrending line of support, right? So now that we've tapped that, we can you know, work our way through this triangle and break out. It's not going to happen like today, I don't think, because you know, look at the hyperwave crossing bearish right there. You know, money flow is really thinning though, in the right direction. You know, it was red and it's thinning. It's, you know, one step closer to turning green. So, you know, I think that we're waiting until the FOMC. We get, you know, bullish news from the FOMC. Maybe not even just rate cuts. Maybe he says something really dovish. Maybe he says something about crypto. Who knows? Like, I think that we're waiting to see that, and then we get, and then we do in fact get a breakout from this triangle here. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with everything, guys. Midnight. Guys, on the 10th, on December 10th, you will be able to redeem your night tokens. Not all of them, right? So each thaw is 25% of your claimed night allocation. So on December 10th, you should be able to redeem 25% of the night that is allocated to your Cardano address, right? So that's pretty significant stuff. You know, that's I like the whole concept of the thaw period because it's potentially going to keep, you know, such massive drops on launch it's potentially going to keep that from, from being a really dumpy thing there, so yeah, December 10th begins the redemption period for the largest, most significant airdrop in crypto history, as well as the project that is going to revolutionize privacy, and it's going to revolutionize Cardano and Bitcoin. So there you go. Thank you everyone for jumping on the show today. Thank you, Real Meta Crypto. Thank you, Zerka. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel Kaufman. Thank you, Based Philosophy Mom, Amelia. Thank you, Muffhead. Thank you, Edwin. Even though you think Bitcoin's trash, but it's not. Thank you, CT. Good luck out there in your poker. Poker? I don't even know her. Thank you, Julie, for coming in. Can't wait to collaborate with you. Thank you, D Not You. Thank you to the entire Brew crew, everyone who comes in here every day and makes this community what it is. Cheers.